Guys, welcome back to the Kings of Storm 5 Grand Finals.
Kings of Storm.
Kings.
Oh, guys, long day. Yeah, we're trying to catch our breath after that last game. Are you kidding me? Like, that was so close. 3%. And you know what? We can't. 3%. We can't stress this enough, though. Barrel Boys really nicely done. Like, they brought a great series there.
I mean, game one, they ruined Vortex. They ruined Vortex.
Yeah.
And Vortex brought it back on Sky Temple for game two. But that game three, like,
it was so close.
You explained it during the commercial break to me. You said it literally came down to one ability. Yeah. Like, one Stormbolt changed the fight a little bit. I mean, that's
Heck, I mean, like, Zeratul could have left during the rest of that team fight. He could have just blinked away and ran to the core. And that could have been game. Like, there's just, like...
It's crazy.
It's awesome to see a game that was so close that it just came down to one basic ability. That's all it took. You know what I mean? Like, how often do we get intense games like that? Always super exciting to see. I was like really stoked at that.
We've got our map figured out.
Yes,
it's actually gonna be Sky Temple here for game one. Now we saw Vortex's comfort on that map, but we know that Symbiote Temple Storm is very comfortable on that. It's going to take me time to get used to that.
You're doing good.
I've been saying SMG for a long time. But again, a big shout out to Tempo Storm, who has now got involved in the Heroes of the Storm community, primarily a Hearthstone team run by Reynad and Frodan.
Yep.
I know it's Reynad's baby, this team, but you know, to get for their first expansion to be Heroes, that's the coolest thing ever. So now in SMG, I mean, the team formerly known as SMG rather. No team is more worthy. I mean, I've read in the article, their map win rate is like something like 198 and like 23 or something. It's just like some astronomical number. So
really crazy.
Well deserved by these guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've been grinding it out.
All right.
While we set up the lobby, we can look at the story that has unfolded throughout the day today, and we can see that Tempo Storm has pretty much been undefeated. They have not dropped a game yet, showing that map dominance 2-0 over Vortex. Now, Vortex fell to the loser's bracket. I'm a bad person. I don't have a loser's bracket graphic, but you can go to cost.challenge.com, and we saw Vortex battle their way through many big-name teams, and they just defeated Barrel Boys in the losers finals 2-1 advantage with a 3% final game.
Yeah, super close, as we were talking about. So who goes in that spot? Right there?
Oh, God. That's
Raz and Jake for his little production here. No biggie, of course.
We're 9+ hours into the cast, so you know what? There will be blunders.
You guys just bear with us a little bit. Yeah, we are getting this lobby set up, of course. So first map is going to be on Sky Temple.
I'm not going to sing about it, but we're not going to talk about other video games. It's just going to be Sky Temple here. Cloud9, they're getting mentally prepared. They're going to be in the lobby soon. Tempo Storm got in the lobby so quick. They're just like, we've been waiting for this.
I know, right? Yeah, they've had quite a bit of a break here. But, I mean, it's also something that's pretty good to talk about. Cloud9 Vortex has had some time to think about their set that happened, a couple hours ago. During winners finals, they did suffer a 2-0 loss to Tempo Storm, but there were some weird games, and I think I'm gonna double check here. I'm pretty sure that Tempo Storm, were they running the Uther? Yeah, they were still doing the Uther Mouth and also the Bloodlust Rhaegar comp.
Oh, don't even
those
remind
are the,
me of
those
that
are the
game.
two games there. So definitely some interesting strategies that Tempo Storm was throwing at Cloud9 Vortex. Perhaps they've had a little bit of time to digest that, think about what happened, think about some counterplay to those particular situations. Jake's doing his best to slay me here. He's doing pretty good. All right, so I think we are ready to move into the draft for this first game here. And I just got to figure out who the host is, and then we'll move forward.
Yeah, now we do have the lobby created. All 10 players are in there. Earthlon is shouting the salty sweet. Is that on?
Oh, it might be, actually, if it's getting pretty late. Yeah, it's an East Coast tournament, so for Apex.
But, I'm sad.
Okay, all right, so I'm going to be host here, and we are going to move into the draft phase for the first game of the grand finals of Kings of the Storm 5.
Dudes, hop to the social networks and tell everyone about this event. Get your friends and family in here. Tell them not to watch Smash Brothers. Say it's a dead game. Come watch Heroes of the Storm. Their 50,000 viewers that they probably have is nothing compared to all you nerds here watching this, and we love you for watching this tournament. The draft is about to be underway. The bans will be launched towards us very soon.
Yes. All right, Sky Temple. Now, we should take a minute to talk about what's strong on this map, and I think how that will affect the draft. Heroes like Falstad, heroes like Brightwing, you get that extra mobility.
I mean, Mule, that's something we always forget
yes.
to talk about.
I'm glad you brought it up, because I probably would have forgot again.
Nazebo is a big hero.
Yeah, he's probably a guaranteed pick on this map for sure. And then, yeah, I mean, we've seen in the past some teams have absolutely gone double Mule, so...
Oh yeah, I mean that game between Symbiote, now Tempo Storm, and Maelstrom with a double Mule out of Maelstrom. Oh, that's probably my favorite Sky Temple game to date. And what we see, the first ban is going to be coming out of Tempo Storm on Tassadar, so they don't want that Storm life. They're only about their Storm life.
Right. Yeah, and we've actually seen them. Yeah, they did this. I think during Winners Finals. Yes, they banned out Tassadar. We actually saw Cloud9 Vortex go forward with a Kerrigan ban. This time they've opted not to, and lo and behold, Kerrigan is first pick. So it seems as though over the past week or so, Kerrigan has picked up a lot more momentum than any other hero. Well, is that fair to say because of ETC and how much he's being played? Yeah, I think that is probably unfair. ETC and Kerrigan, MVPs for today?
Yeah,
is that fair to say?
I would actually, I would have to agree. I mean, Kerrigan, the win rate is it still 100%?
I believe so.
Just about?
Yeah, Kerrigan was banned out in the last game, so yeah.
It's pretty
100%
darn.
win rate, at least for the games that we've casted. I'm sure that there were probably some earlier in the tournament, perhaps ones that Zoya and Shangucha were casting as well. But we'd have to ask him later. We're on to this draft right now.
Yes, we are.
There it is. Nazebo and Uther after the follow-up picks from Tychus and Vala on Cloud9 Vortex.
So like we said, Nazebo, of course, provides that Mule and, of course, a lot of damage. The Ravenous Spirit is going to be seen, and it is going to be a continuous threat throughout the match. Something they have to continue to watch out for here.
Yeah, okay, then we see that follow-up for the Arthas Brightwing. So they've got their warrior hero spot locked down. They've got the Brightwing, Tychus Vala, and then it comes down to they're probably going to pick up their final spot is going to be damage. But what does Tempo Storm pick up in the meantime? They have 2 damage, 1 support. Who are they going to go? I mean, we've seen them actually going towards ETC more often than not. They have the Uther pick up. Wait a minute, actually. Do they go for Malf ETC? They've done it in the past.
I actually like that.
Did my game lock up? Came really close. Malf ETC. Wait a minute.
Your computer is struggling right now.
It is really struggling. Is Rajar serious?
That's weird.
No.
Why is your computer doing
this is a big deal. I need you to look at
whoa,
what
whoa. We've seen this theory crafted for this map.
Yes.
You've been talking about so every week you're like, are we going to see Gaslow? Are we going to see
It's
Gaslow?
like kind of like half a joke, but Sky Temple is the map that you could absolutely see it on. So when I was talking about these teams, theory crafting, hey, what went wrong during that last set that we played against Tempo Storm? What could we do differently? We took them to Sky Temple before. No, they didn't. So okay, so they're saying, all right, let's try Sky Temple. Why don't we throw Gazelle at them? Do they know how to deal with Gazelle? Have they played against it before? What kind of experience do they have against it? If they've practiced this before, this is absolutely the type of play that I love to see. And why not bust it out game 1? You leave yourself a little bit of a cushion to move forward if you happen to lose the game. But why not try to start this out in game 1, going into game number 2, of course, with a win, right? So.
Well, guys, we can see in the chat here you can actually vote for who you want to win. It looks like 72% presently saying that Tempo Storm is going to win here. You guys can cast your votes into the chat. I mean, the rules are there on how to vote, so take part in that. Game 1, the teams are ready. Gaslow ready, boys, says Rajar. And then we're actually seeing Gaslow in the grand finals of a tournament of this caliber.
The last time Gaslow was played in a tournament was probably Kings of the Storm 1. Okay, and that was was that back in March of last year? Back in almost
that was
a year
before
ago.
Tournaments were cast. That was
but I mean, seriously though, that was back when Wombo combos were a real big deal.
That's true. Okay, that's true. That was a Gravo Bomb kind of build.
Right.
We're not going to. I mean, it's hard. I think we will see Gravo Bomb here. I think we will.
It's not like you're going to be able to sneak taking the boss or anything like that out from under them. I think we're still going to see. You need that presence in team fights. But after we introduce the teams, we're going to talk a little bit about why Gazlow's a really strong pickup on this map. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the blue side, for Tempo Storm, we have Dreadnought on Uther. Soldier is going to be playing ETC, Arthalon on Malfurion, KO is going to be playing Nazebo, and rounding it out, we have Glaurung on Kerrigan.
And on the other half of the map, we do have Cloud9 Vortex. It's going to be Rajar playing as Tychus. I Dream with the Mad Tiger and the Gaslow. It's going to be Brightwing being played by Chef here. Arthas will be played by Bobby Hinkle, and K1 Pro is going to be on Vala. Now, we wanted to talk about Gaslow, and when the name of the game is these temples, which are pretty darn predictable the first half of the game, well, the turret life is a good life to live.
It is, and yeah, if you give him enough time to set up 3, maybe 4 turrets onto these temples, it's something that's like really difficult to infiltrate, especially that bottom shrine or the bottom temple.
Look at this guy here.
Look, he's practiced. He knows what he's doing.
Half of the stream has never even seen this.
What was that ability?
What am I? Tinker? Who? What?
Oh boy.
No,
Okay, so he did go for the break it down talent at level 1, which is, I like to see that because that's what reduces the talent anytime he picks up scraps, which is breaking whenever the turrets break, he gets scrapped parts. That's sort of his like trait. That's how it works.
Sustainability on his
but
not really.
what that's going to get him the gravel bomb more often. And you wouldn't really grab that talent if you were going Robo Goblin, because that's something that once you select it, you're always in Robo Goblin mode, right? So this definitely points to him absolutely taking Gravel Bomb, and he's going to need it for these team fights. But he has no escape, so iDream is going to be.
Oh, but he goes for the trade. He goes for the trade. He knows that his life is forfeit, so he says, "You know what? I'm just going to fight you."
Yeah, he had a couple turrets down in the area.
They're fighting in those turrets, and those turrets, they hit hard. I mean, they really do hit hard, and you can't ignore them. And, we get to see Gazlo back alive now. He's not going to be able to set up prior to the shrine spawning.
Yeah, so that was actually probably more of a pickup for Tempo Storm there than you would think, even though it was a trade. But not having Gazlo setting up, it's a very good point to make.
Yeah, so Gazlo's making his way on up here, and he's going to start to throw down those turrets. And there goes one, and we see this top shrine this top temple being held presently.
Yeah. You know who's top damage right now? Gazlo.
What a boss! 920 damage, doubling the next higher.
Yeah, Gazlo, man.
So Gosu. Well, Gazlo, of course, he does have a few of those turrets. They are being picked off because that is a focus point. And he sits in the back and he charges those lasers.
Yeah, those things, that damage adds up when you're trying to infiltrate into this area, trying to move in. There's no choice but to take 2 or 3 shots per turret, and that damage really adds up. So we're seeing the power of Gazlo here. Tempo Storm realizes what's going on. They're like, okay, we can't even touch that.
But in the meantime, Tempo Storm did soak that top lane. They soaked the middle lane, and they did get the middle tempo. I said tempo.
Tempo. I got it. I was like, maybe he's gonna move on.
So they do have the soak, and they do have almost a level advantage at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, I'm curious to see if the Gazlo is going to rotate down. Yeah, we do see Rarjar is in a little bit of a tricky situation.
Nice
Save the
there.
dash. That was good. Really smart play there from Rarjar. So I'm curious to see if Gazlo is going to rotate and sort of find his way towards the bottom of the map just to try to get the leg up on the setup for that bottom temple that's going to spawn in the next couple minutes or so.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how he plays. I mean, it's such an uncommon thing. They're going to pick up the Giants here. That it's an offensive pickup there for Tempo Storm, grabbing those Giants here. And they're just going to rotate their way on back. 4 members here for Cloud9 Vortex, blowing them away. They still got what they wanted, and they're just going to back on up. Looking at the structural damage, we see this here. Level 7, very close. Taking a look at the level 7 talents. Do we see the Mule for Nazebo?
Yes, we do.
We do.
Okay, yeah,
so
that's an important pickup, something that we discussed even before going into this match. Mule does have a large presence on this map. Basically, I mean, those temple shots that go down onto the forts, etc., it's not AoE damage, so you can heal that right back up and just sort of remove the efficiency that you are getting by capitalizing on those tributes. So we can see Gazlo's almost soloing the Bruiser camp here. He's getting a little bit of help from Rarjar there, but that's also another powerful attribute that Gazlo has. He's quite the jungler.
Yeah, he's arguably the best. Maybe not the fastest, but probably the most efficient. And he does a very good job there. Now we see that Gazlo is, well, they hit level 7. We got Cleanse here for Brightwing, First Aid for Tychus, normal stuff, but the Gazlo build, he's rocking the turret style.
Yeah, I like this. Some of the pickups that he got here. The auto attacks increase the duration of the turret, so this can allow him actually to get like sometimes up to 6 turrets in one spot as long as he's continually auto attacking.
It hurts my brain.
Yeah, and it's going to hurt the other team that tries to go in there if he's got that many set up. So he also decided to get the additional charges of turrets too, so you can see he's already going in here. Got 1 turret down. He had 2 for a second there, and you can see how much Tempo Storm is prioritizing getting rid of those turrets because it's going to give him a huge presence on this temple.
It's like having minions that just sit there and smack you, and those minions just keep growing.
And it's ranged damage too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. The gravel bomb, or excuse me, just a normal bomb. The TNT zoning them out a little bit here. The zombie wall going off. He's going to be charging his laser in the back. Rarjar gets very low and is blown up. Level 9 acquired here by Tempo Storm, and as they blow up 2 members of Vortex, they're taking a pretty convincing start, and Gazlo is going to end up falling as well. So this bottom temple going to them here. 4 kills for none.
Yeah, he wasn't able to get as many turrets up as he would have liked. I mean, again, given the opportunity, he can get up to 4 even without throwing down those auto attacks. He only had 2 up, and they were taken down pretty quickly by Tempo Storm. Absolutely recognizing the strength that Gazlo has in this map and dealing with those turrets really fast. That's the type of play they need to make, and they do have a very sizable level advantage going in here. They already have their heroics up, which we can talk about here. We do see the Maelstrom on Kerrigan as we watch them take out this bottom fort here. Ravenous Spirit, of course, Tranquility, Mosh Pit, and Divine Storm. All pretty standard pickups that we would expect to see.
I mean, yeah, there's just so much control and power available that Kerrigan in the front line with the Maelstrom and then Divine Storm and Mosh Pit, like, yeah, it's a scary front line. But Gravel Bomb, I'm sure, will be picked up once we hit level 10 here, and that's something that could really be used to counteract.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely going to be scary. I actually would probably also expect to see Reign of Vengeance out of Vala too. That's just sort of help into the Wombo combo style. We do see Odin picked up, Army of the Dead. Those are all pretty standard picks. Probably Blink Heal out of Shath on Brightwing there. Yeah, Reign of Vengeance was picked up. So anytime we see people sucked into that bomb, the gravel bomb there's going to be mines underneath it that Gazlo will put down before the bomb goes down. So,
yep.
So watch that combo. He'll throw down the TNT mine, then he'll throw down the gravel bomb, pull people in, and then that gives enough time for the TNT bomb to go off, providing additional stun, more time for the team to just unload all of their abilities onto those caught in.
It's actually called Explodium Charge. This is new to me. I actually don't think I've cast Gazlo like ever.
TNT is the name of his level 1 ability.
Yeah, that's how you get two stacks of it.
No, that's 13. Level 1 is...
TNT is the more damage level 1.
Yeah, more damage per people inside of it.
We're learning with
we
guys
don't
here for Gazlo.
very
Such
often.
an uncommon pick. But it's going to be very cool to see that, like you said, if they are able to get that set up with Ravenous and the Gravel Bomb.
I mean, if they catch 3 people in that, that's lights out for Tempo Storm.
Pretty much.
It's a really scary hero to be dealing with. And I mean, Tempo Storm, they were around during the Wombo combo days. They know how to play against it. They have to make sure that they keep members of their team separated. Yeah. And
Army of the Dead is popped here. Kerrigan going very far forward here. We have the combo there. Divine Storm and Ravenous Spirit are going to be going off. Not Ravenous Spirit necessarily. Reign of Vengeance, excuse me. A big root goes down trying to pick up someone, but not going to be able to get anyone. Volva, the one and only member to fall during that fight.
Yep. And that's going to give Tempo Storm a little bit of advantage. And unfortunately for Cloud9 Vortex, this is the timing in which these temples spawn here, so they are going to get a little bit of extra siege damage. And my guess is they're probably going to group up the remaining 4 members here and just push hard onto one of these temples here. It looks as though ETC is going to just stay pretty comfortable on the bottom one here. Rajar is thinking about going in to contest. And with the presence of Brightwing, he absolutely can. We're going to see him push in here. Glaurung rotating down. Bobby Hankill coming into the fray.
Oh, the dance is used, and Rajar is pulled right on in, but the polymorph goes off onto, I believe it was Glaurung there. A lot of damage being used. Are we going to see any heroics used? Well, the Odin is the only heroic available left on the side here, and it's being used as we can see it. Looks like they're able to bully Tempo Storm off of this temple.
Really cool play that actually happened there that I want to highlight. So we saw that Tychus was in the middle of the dance. I think he got cleansed in the middle of it so that he had time to activate his Odin so that he didn't die. Really, really cool heads-up play there.
Wow, that was a nice Emerald win too. But again here, I mean, they had it, and then the rotation is here. That Divine Storm is going to help get Chef and Adrian blown up. Nicely done. Bobby Hankill all by himself will end up falling. That's a 3 for none, and Tempo Storm is taking the tempo advantage on the Sky Temple.
Yeah. So, I mean, as it stands right now, and wow, okay, Tempo Storm is getting a very aggressive boss here. I think they should be able to get away with it. There are 3 members of Cloud9 Vortex down. Now, it just kind of seems like Gazlo isn't really providing enough of a presence in these team fights. Again, all we need to see is that one bomb into the Explodium Charge stun, and that could really make or break a team fight. But as it is, him just backing up and throwing down the Death Laser, that's it's damage, it's nice, but it does take him quite a bit of time to charge up to that point. And you know, it's even possible that the enemy team rotates away before he can even fire it off. So it's definitely a risk to go Gazlo.
Yeah.
And we haven't actually seen him land the combo just yet, but if he does get a chance to do it, it's gonna be a big deal.
You got to give Tempo Storm a lot of credit for how well they've gone in and just blown up those turrets. They walk in, they bully the turrets, and they back up, and they just kill the turrets and back up. And then once that advantage that the turrets in theory should provide is nullified, well, then they take the fight.
Right. And that said, we do have level 16 available for Tempo Storm here. Double Hardened Focus, probably the first and only time you'll ever see this. I shouldn't say only. Don't trademark me on that. We do have Imposing Presence coming out of ETC here. Specialized Toxin on Nazebo and Blood for Blood on Kerrigan, of course, just for the extra sustain during those team fights.
Now that 3-level lead is
pretty
actually
significant.
it's big. It's real big, and the structure advantage is huge as well. We're looking at 3 forts remaining here for Cloud9, but all 6 are still standing on the side of Tempo Storm.
And look where Gazlo is right now.
He's dead.
I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this situation. He has no escapes. He's going to have to do crazy jukes with those bombs, and he's kind of getting away with it a little bit. But
the Envenom goes down, and that's going to be it. That was actually a really impressive juke, but if there was no one else, maybe he could mount up and get away, but he was definitely out of position there.
I mean, I can understand from Vortex's perspective. They're like, okay, we need to catch up. They're trying to maximize on the soak, and they basically were hoping that Tempo Storm wouldn't really notice that Gazzo was down there to try to catch up in the game. So they do have to take risky plays. It wasn't really so much of a misplay. It's like, yeah, we got to take this slightly obvious risk just to make sure that we're soaking to try and catch up in this game, because as things are, they're pretty grim for Cloud9 Vortex right now.
Well, Vortex is throwing 3 members down towards ETC in the bottom of the map, and Glowering is going to sit here by himself in the top. I think they realize this is happening, so we have this initiation. Soldier's just going to back on up, wait for his allies to show up here, and then they're going to fight here for this bottom shrine. They still have a 3-level lead, which means they do have that talent advantage, and this is going to be very tough for Vortex to hold.
Yeah, you can see when the Emerald Wind goes down, I imagine they're going to try to use this to escape, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, that's Poly on cooldown, that's Emerald Wind on cooldown, a big Divine Storm, but the Rain of Vengeance, the Tranquility, keeping everyone alive. That Gravel Bomb only hitting Arthalon, and honestly, Tranquility will keep him nice and healthy. K1 Pro in a bad spot here. Brightwing already dead. Gazzo has fallen as well. It's going to be K1 Pro going down, and Bobby Hinkle, he's going to get zoned out so hard by the CTT, and the Root going down as well. I mean, that's a 4-for-1. 2 shrines cleaned up entirely. I mean, in Tempo Storm's favor. The structure damage, like, look at this keep. It's going to end up falling here. They're going to push after this as well.
Yeah, I was curious to see if Tempo Storm was, going to pull the trigger there and just go in for the core. Not quite yet, so they're going to look to probably take some offensive Merc pressure here. Maybe even set up for a party bush just to try to seal the deal. If they catch Rarjar here, that's going to be real bad for Vortex. But
yeah, I mean, it just takes 1 root to lock him down. Now Chef is back. He used the phase shift to get on in to help him. But I mean, it's looking grim for Cloud9 in game 1 here.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just trying to get rid of these structures that are basically going to be soaking up temple shots. Look at iDream.
He's a clock. He's going
around
backwards. He's trying to rewind time, but it's not going to work for them here.
I think at this point, Cloud9 Vortex is, they realize how this map works. They've played on it a bunch of times. When you're this far down, almost, at 3 levels, a little more than 3 levels down, at this point in the game, the structure advantage is absolutely massive.
And they don't have a mule either, so they don't have any kind of way to crawl back and sustain that damage at this point. They're just going to keep on slowly losing this game, slipping away. If they manage to take 2 team fights in a row...
Yeah, that's what it's going to come down to. They have to absolutely ace twice in a row. Like this, not even 1 ace is going to really even bring them anywhere close to being back in this game. There's no way to paint this in a pretty way for Vortex. The game is all but over at this point, almost a formality.
Yep, I mean, and we're not going to see SMG, we're not going to see Tempo Storm do anything too cheeky. They're grabbing these Bruisers. They're just going to keep rotating around and waiting for that Temple to spawn. And we can see the health on this Temple. It's pretty healthy. This one, yeah, it's pretty healthy too, but what else is protecting them? Not a whole lot.
Yeah, just a couple of structures in the way. And yeah, like we were saying, they're just going to keep rotating around the map, playing it safe, keeping that map presence. They do have just about every Merc camp on the map taken in their favor. Another 25 seconds, and they will be able to.
And this will be the final Merc camp, and then we have a very blue Tempo Storm colored map.
It's true.
How fitting.
It's very true. So yeah, we're going to see both teams rotate out. This pretty much is the final stand for Vortex here. They have to take a huge team fight to get back into this game. As it is, Tempo Storm is about to hit level 20. There it is. And they're going to get quite a bit more utility out of a lot of their abilities, especially Ravenous Spirit.
And Storm Shield. I mean, those are 2 huge talents. Bolts are nice for sure, but those other talents make a big difference in the power and sustainability of these battles. We see the big combo going out from Kerrigan. The bomb is there. The dance is actually stunning iDream out entirely with the Ravenous going on free range. It's full on free range chicken status right now. K1 Pro gets blown up. The Emerald Wind does nice zoning, but it's not going to be enough here. 2 members are down for Cloud9 Vortex. That's going to be a top temple going to Tempo Storm. And there goes Brightwing and Rarjar.
Yeah, they're hoping that they'll only chase one member and then he'll get an opportunity to hearth out. That might be the case. No, it looks as though Arthlon is chasing them on Malfurion there in the back corner, and they're going in for the kill.
Arth?
These guys here are being a little bit good-spirited. I think they're all but conceding at this point.
Yeah, I would say so. Bobby Hankill knows he can't leave, and Arthlon is just going to guard him. Like,
we don't get to see this too often, but on this type of map especially, you know, the way that the temple situation works, if you've got map control, you're dealing out the pain. So,
and they're going to make their way down to the boss. Did he let him hearth? He actually let him hearth back. He didn't kill him. What a manner, Arthlon.
So yeah, we do see that top temple is going absolutely in the favor of Tempo Storm, and that is probably going to be that last keep going down there. They thought about taking the boss here, and it looks as though Tempo Storm is just going to try to set up a gank opportunity here.
Yeah,
maybe
as
not.
ETC makes his way down. Well, they don't really have Heroics. They do have Ravenous Spirit. They're not giving this up.
They're going in.
Yeah, they know the exact time. There's the Ravenous. The Emerald Wind does go down. This Ravenous is just going to town here. iDream's going to end up falling. 1, 2, 3 members have fallen. Only 2 remaining. Bobby Hankill has no chance of surviving the tornado, just keeping him in check. And K1 Pro is going to get out.
Yeah, so absolutely the plan there, quote unquote, was to send Brightwing in right on top of the cap and throw out that Emerald Wind. A lot of the members just blinked over the pulse of Emerald Wind just to make sure that they got inside. Absolutely, you know, not necessary, not something that would have made or break the game even if they had capped that boss. And we do see Tempo Storm is going in for the kill. Wrapping things up here for game number 1 of the grand finals of Kings of the Storm. Yeah, we got that 1-0 advantage. And I really like the play of Gazlo. I've been saying this for a while now. I would love to see some teams, especially if they've suffered that 2-0 loss in winners finals, throw something weird at them.
Do it weird. Yeah, mix it up.
Something strange.
Mean, we've seen Tempo Storm do weird stuff today alone.
Yeah.
And they're always inventing new builds, new strategies, and new compositions. And you know, seeing Gazlo is cool, and I like the confidence too. They knew it was a weird thing. In the lobby, they're just like, Gazlo boys, like they're hyping it up. But Tempo Storm just knew how to respond to it, and they honestly, I mean, that was an incredibly one-sided game. Like,
absolutely.
They were just playing with their food at the end.
The one death on the ETC there, and over 20.
Yeah,
I think at that point,
Arthlon just dancing with his food at the end, and GG's. But you know, it's good to see again. Bobby just dancing with them, you know, being a good sport about it.
They're being good sports about it. But yeah, absolutely. Kudos to the weird play. I really appreciate these guys trying that. I think that's the type of play that they need to do to you know, throw Tempo Storm off.
But the question is, do they do something weird again? Because they're down. This is match point for Tempo Storm. Tempo Storm has to win one more game, and they are the champions. This is it here for Cloud9. Should they go back to the drawing board and do something weird? Or
it's going to depend a little bit on the morale of the team and how strong they're feeling mechanically. If they feel like their communication's on point and everyone's still playing really well, it's like, okay, we just lost because we hadn't practiced Gazlo that much. Yeah, sure, try a regular strategy. If the morale's a bit low, perhaps try something weird again. Because, I mean, you can see Tempo Storm is playing really well here.
Yes, they are.
you gotta find a way to contest that, really.
Yeah.
So,
well, guys, we're going to get ready for game number 2 of the grand finals here, so stay with us. We will be back in just a few minutes.